So beginning on your mats in
Let's do
any
push-ups.
comfortable position, we'll definitely do some push-ups. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthening through your spine. Ooh, I need to put my leg under because my hips are being funny. Tall spine, relaxing your face, relaxing your neck, relaxing your shoulder. Take a deep inhale. Fill your lungs completely and then open your mouth and just let it go. Feel yourself release. Let go of your Monday. Let go of your heated political debates you might have just been having if you were in my household.
I know, but we didn't have any political
No, not
issues.
political. Just let it go. The Manic Monday is behind you.
The what?
Manic Monday.
What is that? Use words I understand, please.
And now you can just let go, relax. Begin to focus on your breath. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Feel your lungs expand completely on the inhale. Feel them release completely on the exhale. With every exhalation, allow yourself to release and relax a little bit more. Let go of a little bit more stress. Let go of a little bit more of your day. Let go of a little bit more of the muscle tension. Imagine your body just filled with positivity, light, healing, and let that serve you through your practice. For now, continue this breath of in through the nose and out through the nose. When we move into the Pilates exercises, I will have you switch to a Pilates breath. But otherwise, whenever in doubt, just inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. The longer and fuller the breaths, the more you fill your lungs, the more you rejuvenate your cells, the healthier it is. Take an inhale and stretch your arms up overhead. Opening your eyes as you exhale, bring your hands behind your body. If you're on your knees like me, the floor is further away. If you're sitting down, you should be able to find the floor a little more easily. And press into the floor as you open your chest, tilting your gaze towards the ceiling, really pulling your shoulders back. So it's much less about your head and your neck. Don't thrust your head back. It's just a gentle tilt up, thinking about pulling the shoulders back, pressing the chest up, a little bit of a curve in that back. Inhale. And exhale, coming to neutral, but thinking about sitting nice and tall. Oh, Tess came on and then jumped off. Hopefully she might be having internet issues. Inhale, extend those arms up overhead. Exhale to twist. So just putting your hand on your thigh, your legs are crossed, that's fine. You don't need to be on knees like me. I just was having issues. Try not to hold your knee. Put your hand on your thigh. Think about sitting up tall, not leaning into that backhand. Pulling the back shoulder back. Opening up through there. Taking a deep breath, filling your lungs there. As you exhale, see if you twist a little bit further. And then releasing yourself back to center. Other side, so inhale to lift. Exhale to twist, hand on the thigh. Rather than on the knee, sit up tall. Pulling the back shoulder back. Deep inhale. See if you can twist a little bit more as you exhale. And bringing yourself back to center. And then one more stretch laterally. So inhale up. Exhale, hand comes down to the side, reaching up and over. Again, as always, let that arm on the mat just be soft. So you really bend over into it. You want to think about your spine arching up and over. So you're making the letter C with your body, basically. And again, taking a deep inhale here. Long exhale. Inhale up and over to center. Other side. I don't often do all of this before we start our Pilates, but I just felt like if we've been sitting all day, I wanted to get that spine moving a bit before we begin. Good, and press yourself up. Now we'll come down onto our mats. So I have grabbed a ball, which is one of my favorite props, but you can also use a block, you could use nothing, you could use like a little throw pillow from your sofa. Any of those will do, or none. And go ahead and come on down to your back, giving yourself a little hug. Rocking back and forth, massaging that back. So classic Pilates style, you always warm up with the hundreds. So we're gonna go ahead and do that today. So knees are, you have option, remember, with the hundreds. Feet can be on the mat, belly button and low back is on the mat. That's gonna be your easier option. Feel free to do that. If you have any reason you need to modify, hi Tess, we were just asking about you. And then bring your knees up to tabletop. This will be option 2, so knees are over hips, belly button is still pulled in, back pressed into the mat. And the hardest option will always be legs extended, and then as you lower your legs down, it gets harder, harder, harder. You never want to arch your back, you never want to stick out your belly. That's just going to hurt your back and do nothing for your abs. And if you want to use the ball, you can squeeze it between your knees or your ankles, okay? Lifting the arms straight up from shoulders, chin towards chest, inhale. Exhale to lift yourself up to whichever position you want to be in. Chin towards chest, arms shoot down by the side and they begin to pump as you inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, you're squeezing that ball if you're using the ball, so you're engaging the inner thighs. Belly button pulling towards the spine, so back is pressing into the mat. And remember, we pump our arms with vigor that destabilizes our body, and we have to use our core to keep ourselves stable. So your head and shoulders and hips should not be bouncing around. Last time. And as you finish, hug those knees in, giving yourself a little rock from side to side. So challenge on this one will be to use the ball. If you are struggling, then go ahead and put the ball down because it's going to be harder to do this next exercise with the ball. So your option. So knees over hips. Notice as you bring your knees close to your body, it gets easier to press your back into the mat. As you push your knees away from your body, you have to work more. So find that position where you're working, but your back is still flat, your head is still rested, and you can control that position. Move your arms out of the way. Let the knees drop down to one side as you exhale. Inhale, lift them up and over. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, exhale, up and over. So if you drop the ball, or if you need to open up your legs to make this easier, that's absolutely fine. Keep your head on the mat if you can. It's healthier for your neck. We're just working that low back and spine, warming it up, and also working our abs. So again, to make it a little bit easier on yourself, bring your knees close to your body. To make it more of a challenge, push your knees away from the body. But make sure you're feeling this in your abs, not in your back. It's easy to transfer this into your back, and we don't want to be feeling that. Do one more time each side, nice and controlled. I'm just starting to the first side. Once you've done both sides, come on back to the middle and hug your knees into your chest. Good. All right, bring yourself up to sit. If you are using a ball or similar, you can hold on to it for now because we're going to do one more thing with it. So this is also a challenge option. This will make this exercise harder. We're going to do rolling like a ball. So remember, rolling like a ball is hands holding ankles or shins, chest is tall, shoulders are back, back is long, and then we tuck into a little ball to roll to our shoulder blades and back up. If you want to use the ball to make it harder, you bring the ball here, you squeeze it between your ankles and your body. Chin tucks towards chest, we tuck into a little ball, roll back to shoulder blades, roll back up and balance without tapping toes down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Try to sit up tall at the end, shoulders down and back. So you find that balance position. Rounded spine to roll, long, tall spine once you get to the top. Doing one more, and then just come up and balance. Toes above the mat. Good, and release that down. All right, go ahead and sit up. Extend your legs out in front of you. You can continue holding onto the ball if you're using it or a block. Hands are going to press into the ball, palms pressing into the ball, shoulders are down and back for spine stretch forward. So just like we just did with the rounded spine, we drop chin towards chest, but this time we reach forward with a rounded spine. We exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, stretch forward. Remember, it's forward, 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 not down. Inhale, sit up tall. Imagine someone's pulling your ball, trying to take it away from you, and you don't want to let them. Inhale, sit up tall. Through the mouth. Exhale, 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 inhale. Inhale, sit up tall. Good, stay right where you are. I'm just going to face you because I can't turn to the side with the wall there. Shoulders are still down and back, arms are still extended, palm is still pressing into the ball. Pressing rather than gripping because it makes your muscles work a little harder. Shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, exhale, twist, twist, twist. Inhale, back to center. Inhale, back to center. Not too vigorous of a twist, don't want you to hurt yourself. It's just like you're trying to go a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further each time. Finish on the opposite side from where you started. Come back to center, lift the arms up overhead. Shoulders down away from the ears, sit up tall. Good. Exhale, reach, 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 reach forward like you're trying to pass that ball to somebody in front of you. And then just release all the way down, letting go of the back, the head, the arms. Ball just rests. Taking a couple breaths. And rolling yourself up. Go ahead and put the ball down. We're done with that for a moment. Go ahead and roll yourself down onto the mat. Take your hands and place them under your body so you're kind of sitting on top of them. Shoulders are down in the mat, elbows are down in the mat. Extend both legs up. So we're going to do double leg circles, and we're going to move our double leg circles into a little lift. If you don't want your hands under you, you can have your hands down by your side. It's a little bit harder to have hands here than under, so you decide, but make sure you're pulling those abs in and the back is in the mat. So we're going to circle the legs to one direction. Inhale, exhale, come back to the top. Hips and butt stay on the mat for this. Go the other direction. Inhale, exhale, back to the top without lifting, right? Inhale, exhale. Inhale for the first half, exhale for the second half. This is called corkscrew because of the fact that we're going back and forth. All right, stopping at the top, I'm going to show you the lift. This is the optional lift if you want. We inhale, exhale to one side, stop at the top, lift and lower, just a little lift. Inhale, exhale, stop at the top, lift and lower with control. Lift and lower. All right, so if the lift is too much, just go back to the circles. If you'd like to add to this, I'm going to get crazy with y'all and show you the next level and then the final level of this move. All right, so you can keep doing that. Next level is you make that lift a little bit bigger. So you go all the way around, you lift all the way up, and come all the way back down with control. And then you go the other direction. You lift all the way up and all the way back down with control. Try not to flop down on the mat. Try one more time, each direction. Try to keep those toes in a point on the ceiling and then lower straight down so the feet don't go too much overhead. Once you've done one more each side, come to the center. And then your option, you can continue doing those, or if you'd like, I'm going to show you the full version, which is you swoop around and you lift up off that right hip this time. Then you lower down onto the left hip. Swoop around. Whoops, I did the same thing both directions. Up on the right, this time down on the right. Swoop around, up on the left. Down on the left, swoop around, up on the right.
Crazy.
Down on the right, swoop around. Yeah, this is a super advanced move, but I thought, why not show you? So it's still corkscrew. It's still alternating directions,
He's using magic.
incorporating the left. So finish whichever version you are doing, and then release and bring your hands around your legs and give yourself a little rock. That's a very advanced Pilates move. So if you're like, oh my gosh, that wasn't happening, that's okay. And if you got it, then awesome. Or if you got a version of it, then awesome. There's a little bit of coordination involved with that one too, so sometimes you gotta just sort of get the rhythm. All right, let's do our spine stretch, or our spinal roll up rather. So if you're using a ball, you can grab your ball. Feet starting the mat. We'll do one warming up modification, then your option if you continue with the modification or if you do the full version. So belly into the spine, spine into the floor, shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, use the breath to exhale quickly as you roll up. Inhale, extend the legs. Exhale to spine stretch forward. Inhale, sit up tall, bend the knees. As slowly as you can, roll down. So this is like rolling like a ball combined with spine stretch forward. If that was good for you, keep going. If you want to make it harder, extend the legs. Inhale, exhale to roll up. Spine stretch forward. Inhale to sit up tall, bend the knees if you're modifying. Exhale to slowly, 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 slowly roll back down. Inhale. Slow on the way down. Notice where you go fast. We all have portions of the roll down where we're not as much in control as we could be. See if you can slow down that part. Start tall, and from the very beginning it's slow. The low back hits, the middle back hits, the upper back, the shoulders, and finally the head. One more time. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale to roll back down. We're going to add to this, so bend your knees. Arm extended. Extend the right leg. Inhale, exhale to roll up. See if you can tap, hand, ball, whatever you're reaching to your toe. And then roll back down. If that was too much, just keep doing what we're doing or just bend both knees on the mat. Right leg still extended. Inhale, exhale to roll up. Switch. Right leg comes down, left leg comes up, and roll back down. Inhale, exhale, roll up. Switch. Left leg comes up, right leg comes down. Inhale, exhale, slowly roll down. Inhale, exhale, roll up. Tap right ankle, put that leg down, left ankle up, and roll back down. We're going to finish on the left, so inhale, exhale, roll up, tap the ankle, and roll back down. Right here. Hug the knees in, give yourself a little rock. Rock yourself up to sit. So the second rolling exercise after rolling like a ball is rolling in tabletop, with or without the ball. So without the ball, you're here. Hands are holding calves or ankles. Spine is lifted, back is straight. With the ball, you're squeezing that ball between your knees. Again, that's going to make it harder. If the ball flies out, don't worry about it. Pull that belly button in, rock back to shoulders, don't go onto your head, and come back up. And balance. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. time. And balance. And place the feet down. Extend the legs. Extend the arms up. Inhale, exhale, just release. Bringing yourself up. Keeping the ball aside for a moment, sit up tall. We're going to do the final series of this. So extending the arms out, we're going to do the saw. You're reaching opposite pinky finger and you're sawing off your opposite pinky toe. So it's not a bounce up and down, it's a reach, reach, reach. So arms extend, shoulders down, chin to chest, everything lifted. Inhale, exhale, twist. I've got left pinky finger to right pinky toe. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale to center. Legs are a little bit separated. Exhale, 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 like a little narrow pizza. Inhale. Inhale. Last time, finish on the opposite side from where you started, and then come back to center and release. Excellent. All right. I'm kind of burning out your abs. Often we alternate between abs and back and chest, but I'm just going to like 30 straight minutes of abs. So you're doing great. Option, grab the ball. Option to grab a block. Option to do nothing. This is something you could even use a weight for if you wanted to add some resistance. So either hands at prayer or hands pressing the ball or the block. Sit up nice and tall first. Chest is lifted, elbows are out. So you're working your arms here. You should be feeling some contraction in your muscles. You're going to hinge back. So the chest is lifted, sternum is towards the ceiling, belly button is in, spine is long. And you're going to twist and twist back to center. Back to center. The reason the exhale whenever we twist is it should clear space in your lungs so that you can twist a little further. And the more you can twist, the more you work those obliques. The more you work your obliques, the more you work that waistline. Finish on the opposite side from where you started. I'm going to do one more round and then find my way back to center. And back to center. And sit up tall. Okay, our last one for here, we're going to do a spinal roll over rather. Spinal nothing, although it uses your spine. It's the opposite of the roll up, the roll over. It's also the continuation of what we were doing with our corkscrew leg circles. So, as always, option for the ball. I'm going to do a modification of this exercise to use the ball. Because you can't do the full exercise if you are using the ball because you can't open your legs. So I'm going to use this, squeezing it between my legs. So the modification of this is to go back to that lifting and lowering we were doing before. Nice and controlled lift and lower. If you want to do the full roll over, it's an up and over towards plow, but the idea is just to get the legs parallel to the floor. They don't actually have to touch the floor. And then slowly roll back down. Those of you who know Pilates know that this usually involves opening and closing the legs, but I'm using this to work that inner thigh, so I'm not opening and closing my legs. Inhale, exhale to roll up and over. Inhale, exhale if you want, flexing the feet on the way down. Nice and controlled. Slow up, slow over, slow down. Can you keep your chest or your head, your shoulders, and your back on the mat? Sometimes what happens is our body counterweights itself, right? As your legs are coming down, your abs don't have the strength, and so your head lifts up and goes with your whole body. Try to keep that head down on the mat, using the core control, using your ab strength. The breath is your friend.
I'm good, he's your friend.
One more, inhale, exhale. Whenever you get back down to the bottom, just hug your knees into your chest. And give yourself a little rock. And rock yourself up to sit. coming onto hands and knees. So hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Inhaling a few times through cow and cat. Inhale through cow, exhale through cat. Noticing if you're feeling anything in your low back. Might have been because you might have been using your low back, which isn't terrible. I just don't want you to be sore, so just observe that, just notice it. And use this time to stretch it out. Whenever you get to one more cat, go ahead and pause in cat, drop the head down, push the hands away, push the back towards the ceiling, looking to the belly button. Transition this to a down dog, so just curl your toes under, push up and back, and feel that spine lengthen out. Pressing into palms, jogging through, bending one knee, bending the other knee, stretching those legs. Driving both heels towards the mat, rolling shoulders down and away from the ears. Make sure you can shake your head no.
No.
Make sure you can nod your head yes. And then taking your down dog into plank, coming out to plank. If this is hard on your wrists, you can come down to fists. You can come down onto forearms. Otherwise, see if you can hang out here. Belly button pulling towards the spine. So your gaze is in between your thumbs. We always want to have our spine in neutral. So we're not looking at the wall in front. We're not looking at our toes. We're keeping ourselves in neutral alignment. Squeezing the gluteal muscles, squeezing the abdominal muscles. Use the breath as you exhale. Feel those abdominal muscles contract. Supporting you. If your hips drop, really try to keep those hips lifted so you don't hurt your back. If all else fails, drop down to your knees and do this modified. 15 more seconds for our minute. Challenge is going to be to lower down from this as slow as you can. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down, chest, chin, and hips. Keep the hands right where they are under the shoulders. Extend the legs long. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs together. Hug the elbows to the rib cage. And then as you inhale, press up to your cobra. And exhale to release back down. Inhale to lift up to cobra. Exhale to release back down. One more here. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Pause for a moment. So shoulders are down away from the ears, shoulder blades pulling together, gluteal muscles contracting, and release. Option if you'd like to work on it to come to up dog, we'll do a couple of these, or keep doing cobra if it's better for your back. To do up dog, the hands slide back a little further, kind of near the top of your rib cage. Elbows are still hugging the side, shoulders are still down and back. We press up like we're doing cobra, and then we keep pressing up to lift the hips off the mat, extending the legs behind us, trying not to lock the elbows, and then lower that back down with control, melting all the way down into the mat. Option to go back to cobra or do 2 more of these. So with control, press up, 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 starting in cobra. Keep pressing if you're doing up dog, chest lifts, squeeze the glutes, and slowly lower back down. One more, whatever you're doing, everyone press up to cobra. If you're coming to up dog, press up and slowly come back down. Pushing up and back, come to child's pose. Doing that really slow like that and really focused makes you realize sometimes how hard up dog is. So when we do them in our sun citations, it's not to say we shouldn't do them, but being aware of how hard it is to do them correctly. So make sure that you're doing them with good form to not hurt yourself ever. Rising back up onto hands and knees. So I'm gonna keep using this ball pillow block. In this case, you could use a water bottle, maybe one that doesn't have a lot of water in it, because it's just gonna be this little bit of resistance that we're gonna lift up and down. So extend that right arm out in front of you, holding onto the ball if you're using it. Extend the left leg behind you. So everything is parallel to the floor. We're not lifting the leg higher than the hips. We're not lifting the arm higher than the shoulder. Belly is pulled in, back is in neutral. So there's a little bit of a curve, but you're thinking of bringing it as flat as possible. Inhale, bring that ball towards the knee. Exhale, can you tap it? Otherwise, you're just bringing elbow in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, ball to knee. Inhale to extend. Nice and controlled. Try not to move the spine. If you look at me, it's mostly just my arm and my leg moving. My torso is really stable. I'm not arching up like I'm going into cat. One more. Extending out and hold it. Good. Lift and lower, or lower and lift, I should say. Down to the mat and lift back up. Down to the mat and lift. Inhale. Exhale to lift. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Lift up. Go ahead and place everything down. We're going to work that same leg. So again, this is optional with the ball. I'm going to put the ball in this little crook of my knee. Otherwise, just forego it and have your knee at a 90-degree angle. Lift that leg up to that same position. So where the knee is in line with the hip, foot is flexed towards the sky, and lower back down. Uphill, uphill. I don't know what that is. Inhale, lower down. Up and exhale. Exhale to lift for 3, and slowly lower down. Pressing that heel towards the ceiling, nice and controlled. So we're not swinging. And imagine that last little bit, you really press towards the ceiling to get that last little bit of definition. 4 more. And 3. And 2. On the last one, we're going to lift up and hold it. So knee lifted as high as you can. Notice if you're rolling towards one side or the other. Can you center yourself? Foot is flexed. If you're using the ball or anything else, you're squeezing that. And then we're going to push up, up, up. It's like a little teeny donkey kick towards the ceiling. Keeping the gaze right in between the thumbs, belly button in. You will feel this in your back if you start using your low back. I want this to be your glutes, your abs. Your shoulders are engaged here. You're surprisingly using your opposite glute too. But I don't want you using that low back. So make sure you're squeezing the belly button in. You're not arching the back. And you're not swinging that leg to create a curve. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower that down. Take that ball out and just sit back on your heels and stretch. Take a breath into your low back. Good, bringing yourself back up. Same 2 exercises on the other side. So, right hand in the mat, left hand's grabbing the ball, left arm extends, right leg extends, pushing that heel away, pull that belly button in. If you can see yourself, see if you can find that nice neutral spine. Super long limbs. Inhale, exhale, ball to knee. Inhale to extend. Nice and controlled. Head isn't moving. Back isn't moving. Try to make sure the arm and the leg don't drop down. It's super easy to let gravity just start bringing them towards the floor. Keep them nice and lifted. 5, 4, 'On the last one, extend out and hold it. Lower down to the mat and lift back up. Lower down and lift. Lower down and lift. 5, 3, last one, holding it up, and then go ahead and come on down, place the left hand on the mat. You can, again, use nothing, and that leg is just bent at a 90-degree angle, or stick your ball or other, you can use a weight on this as well, anytime you want to intensify. Hands under shoulders, belly button in, and we're gonna exhale up, inhale, lower back down with control. Nice and slow. There are times we want to use momentum, but there are times we want to really make it nice and slow and controlled to challenge ourselves, and this is one of those times. This is definitely one that gets easier if you start swinging and using momentum. 5, 4, 3, remember that little last lift at the end. As soon as you're up as high as you can you lift just half an inch higher? I feel that extra little bit of contraction when I do that. Last one, lift up, heels pressing towards ceiling, and it's little pulses up. Squeezing the belly button, squeezing the glutes, looking in between the hands. Using the glute muscles. And again, I feel this on my left gluteal muscle as well as my right. They're both working. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that down and sit back on your heels into child's pose. Letting the back go. All right, bringing yourself up. We're going to come to plank, side plank, and we're going to do some side plank crunches. I'm debating doing this on hands or on forearms, but I'm going to do it on hands to give you an easier option to modify on knees, but that means you can do any of the above. So just to show you, when you do your side plank, you can come to a forearm side plank if that's easier on your wrist. It's just you can do side plank here on your knee as well, that will work. Or you can come to side plank on your hand, don't fall into the wall. Or you could bring your knee down here and modify this way. Okay, so these are going to be your options. So just decide what's better for you. Your core is going to be working the same way either way. Okay, so scooch this away from the wall. All right, so come on to your forearm plank here, or your full plank here, whichever one you're doing, to start. 30 seconds here. So there really is not much of a difference in intensity. These should both be working core, they should both be working glutes. It's just more about how much you're working your wrists or not. Feels a bit different, your shoulders. Either way, you're looking in between your hands. You're not looking at your toes. 10 more seconds here. I'm going to transition to a right hand side plank, and I'm going to keep my ball handy and have it in my left hand, but that is totally optional. So right hand side plank. So right forearm or right hand. If you're using the ball, it's reaching up to here and then reaching overhead. You can stay right here, or remember, drop down to your knee. And then if you want, lift that top leg. And then crunch everything in and extend everything out. This part's optional. You can just hold your plank. We're going to do 10. That's 8. And of course, the ball is also optional. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. If you're in full plank, go ahead and drop down to that knee. If you're on your forearm, go ahead and come up and join us. So everyone's going to be on their knee. I'm using right knee, left leg's extended. We're here. Again, ball is optional. It's just still in my hands, so I'm going to keep using it. We're going to come over into gate pose. So let that opposite arm just dangle as we're reaching towards that extended leg. You can gently rest your hand, but no pressure because your knee is very vulnerable here. Good, and press back up. Come back over onto our plank, last 30-second plank. And then we're gonna go to the other side. So my back will be to you this time round. So same option from forearms or from hands. All right, 5 more seconds before we transition. 3, 2, 1. Picking your modification on your forearm, on your leg, knee lifted or not, arm extends up, arm stretches over. You can stay here. You could lift and hold that top leg here, or if you want, you're crunching in for 10. Exhale as you crunch in, 8. Inhale as you extend. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. If you're up, drop down to that left knee. If you're on forearm, press up. Ball switches to the opposite hand, lifting up and over. Again, letting that leg, that arm just dangle, or gently letting it rest on the leg without any pressure on that knee. And pressing back up, coming back around, placing that ball down, and bringing yourself all the way down to the mat. And just rest for a moment. All right, so let's do swimming. I feel like we might have done swimming last week, but that's okay, we're gonna do swimming again. Extend your arms out in front of you. Extend your legs behind you. You're looking down at the mat, nose right above the floor. We're gonna lift everything up, arms up, legs up, and then you can stay right where you are, or you can swim. 10 seconds, inhale and exhale, either holding or swimming for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And while we're here, we're gonna do the beats again this week, so bring your hands here in front of you, palm on palm, head resting on your hands. We're gonna be opening and closing our legs. This is a fast one, so this is when you use momentum. It's quick open, close. So squeeze your gluteal muscles, lift your legs as high as you can, see if you can get your thighs off the floor. And then you open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Beat your heels together. Your heels are kicking, 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 kicking together. Beat, 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 beat. Again, without using your back. With control. 10, 9, 8, 7. Squeeze your glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And take a breath. Slide your hands back, push up and back, come to child's pose. Sitting back in your heels, stretching your arms forward. Curling toes under, push up to downward facing dog. Shoulders away from the ears. Think about a long spine, so head hangs. Chest just hangs, sit bones push up to the sky. Step the right foot forward, finding a low lunge. You can come up to your thigh if that's too much. If you haven't got 2 blocks handy, 2 blocks beside your feet would work also. Knee over ankle being the most important thing. We're trying to get into as low a lunge as possible. So if you're up, see if you can be up here. Hands on thighs with this nice 90-degree bend, so you're really stretching your thigh. And then release that back knee onto the mat, coming up to your crescent lunge, hinging forward, opening that right hip flexor. Chest lifted, I've got my hands right behind my thigh, shoulders pulling down and back, really driving forward. Releasing that, curl the toes under, push all the way up into a high lunge. Extending the arms up overhead. Heel pressing back behind us, nice deep bend in the front knee. Launching into a modification of warrior 3 with arms down by our side. So coming up onto that right foot and the arms shoot back behind you. Trying to lift the leg up, parallel to the floor. Gazing at the mat. Challenge to extend the arms in front of you. Further challenge to add movement to this, crunching knee into elbows and extend. If you're doing this, we'll do 9 more. Extend on the inhale, 8, inhale, exhale, inhale. Nice and controlled, so you don't lose your balance. If you do lose your balance, that's fine. Just come back to it. 4, 3, 2, last one. Step that foot back, come up, both legs straight for pyramid. Just doing some active yoga to stretch us out at the end. So all 10 toes are facing forward, hips are facing forward. Your options are hands on hips, hands fist to fist behind you, or hands palm to palm behind you. Chest is lifted, hips are forward. Make sure that left hip isn't rotating back. And we're going to hinge forward with a long, flat spine. Keep pulling the left hip forward. Keep pushing the right hip back. Bringing your gaze onto the floor. Couple of breaths here. Hopefully feeling a stretch in your hamstrings and your back. Can you flatten out your back? Upper back. And then bend your knees so your hands find the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Finding yourself in plank. Lowering all the way down to the mat for cobra, or we've been working on up dog. If you want to come to up dog, that's fine. Exhale, back to down dog. Same series on the other side. So that left foot comes forward, finding yourself in the low lunge. If it's too far to the floor for you, bring your hands up to your knee, behind your knee rather. Push back through that right heel. The idea here is to be feeling a stretch. We're just doing these nice, slow, challenging yoga postures to stretch you out. Release that back knee onto the mat. Rising up, hands behind the front thigh, or behind the front knee on the thigh. Hinging forward, chest is lifting, shoulders are down and back. You're driving forward on that hip. Good, yeah. Releasing that down, curling the toes back under, coming all the way up to your high lunge. Toes pointing forward. Transitioning to your warrior 3. So remember, arms down by your side is our modification. Challenging yourself if you want. If your back can handle it, extend the arms forward. And then if you want, crunching everything in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch it in. If you're standing still, really focus on extending that back leg behind you, keeping it at hip height, arms at shoulder height, back flat, belly button pulling in, and you're breathing. 5 more down here. 4, 3, 2, last one. Everybody step the back foot down for our pyramid. Both legs are straight, right toes are ever so slightly at an angle. Picking hand position, hands at waist. If your hands are fist to fist, try to keep them up high as you can go on your back. And otherwise, palms to palm. And hinging forward, this time pull the right hip forward, push the left hip back. That will square them off. We tend to rotate into our hips in this one. Looking on the floor, out in front of your big toe somewhere. Imagine I'm pressing gently into your upper back, flattening out any roundedness that's happening there. Breathing into it. As you exhale, release, bending the knees, bring the hand to the mat. Step the left foot back, same thing, option to cobra and come up or up dog. I didn't say that right at all. Either cobra or up dog, you knew what I meant hopefully. And back to your down dog. And then dropping down onto knees and spinning around, bringing your feet forward. One last time, having your ball handy for a couple bridges here. So if you want, putting that ball between your knees, feet close to your body, belly button pulling in, squeezing the ball, the block, the pillow, or forgetting it all together.
Okay.
Inhale, tilt up, hips towards the sky. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, tilt up. Exhale to lower. 3 more. Two more. On your last one, lift up and hold. Squeeze that ball between the knees. Squeeze the glutes, press up a little bit more. And lower that back down. And hug the knees into the chest. You can just put the ball down to the side. Bring this to happy baby, reaching in between the legs, grabbing feet or ankles. Bring the soles of the feet together, lowering them down onto the mat. Pausing for a moment here in your supine butterfly, letting the knees drop open. Bring your hands to your abdomen. Take a deep inhale. Try to let your hands rise up with the breath and then blow it out through your lips as slowly as you can. 2 more. Inhale super deeply. Hold it just for a moment and then whenever you've exhaled it all, do it one more time, inhaling super deeply and exhale slowly, letting it out. Some people have longer or shorter breaths, so no worries there. Once you've done as many of those as you want to do, let the arms rest down by your side. Let your legs extend. Close your eyes. Relax into the mat. And let go. Allow yourself to take a deep breath in here through the nose and just slowly let it out through the nose. Letting go of any last lingering tension in the body. Letting go of your practice. When you're ready, begin to reawaken the body. Working your way to a sit, so you can roll over to your side, you can roll straight up. Finding yourself in a seated position, however is comfortable for you. Once you get there, just allow yourself to sit up tall. Allow your arms to rest in your lap. Take a deep inhale through the nose as you extend your arms out, pressing your palms together. Open your mouth, let it go as you bring your hands down to your heart. One more time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Om Shanti Om. I wish you peace and love and joy. And namaste.